Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you pretty late tonight for a review. This is going to be a movie review, and I think this might come out on the 26th. So I might premiere this video like 12:30 or something like that. I haven't decided when, but it might be at midnight is when I'll get it out. I don't know. I'm still contemplating on that, but this is for a 2022 movie I just got done watching for Amsterdam with Christian Bale in it, starring Christian Bale, John David Washington, and Margot Robbie, and quite a bit of pretty well-known actors in this movie too that we've seen before, like Robert De Niro, Rami Malek, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers, um, and Anya Taylor-Joy is in this, and quite a bit of other actors too. Chris Rock and Zoe Saldana. So there's a big, huge cast in this movie. So I'm gonna discuss what I watched for this 2022 movie Amsterdam that came out on October 7th, and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this movie review. Now, personally, in my opinion, I think the script behind it, like the premise of the movie, is basically about being in the 30s, the 1930s it's set at for the year. And Taylor Swift's in this movie too, but she doesn't make it that long. So they su- become suspects of a murder. Um, John David Washington and Christian Bale's their characters are suspects of witnessing a murder, and then they have to uncover a plot to rule over the American history and all that, and America itself. So there's a big uh, plot hole or whatever inside American history or whatever. So basically, what I got from this movie, I found it to be very underwhelming and kind of boring. But at the same time, I'm not hating the story, but I think it's disappointing of a movie. I'm just not gonna remember this movie. I just found it to be a bore. So, I don't know, just something about it just really, the jokes weren't bad. The cast performed very well, but it was just the pacing of the movie and just they're dragging it out even towards the end of the movie where Robert De Niro's character has to give a speech at the end of the movie. I don't want to go into too much spoilers on what he does. He's known as General or something like that, like the general of the war or whatever. The war that Christian Bale's character and John David Washington's character pretty much fought in. So, pretty much, Margot Robbie plays this Valerie Vose, I think is her name, and basically, this is a movie where they're uncovering a murder mystery kind of thing, like who killed who and why did they do it and all that. So that's what the movie's basically explaining to the viewer, but it goes into long explanation on where it's coming from. And like I said, the story's not bad, but the script and just the pacing of the movie tends to drag on with this movie quite a bit and sort of becomes underwhelming and slightly boring. So overall, in my opinion, I think Amsterdam was disappointing in my opinion. It's not that I hated this movie as much. It's going to be on my worst movies of 2022, unfortunately. I didn't want to put this on the worst movies, but there was something about this movie that kind of rubbed me off the wrong way, and I was trying to understand some of the movie's premise, and I get the premise, but it's just the performance of the movie did not strike a landing with me, and not in a good way. So, first score for me, I'm giving Amsterdam a 5.5 out of 10. It was a letdown, unfortunately. I'm sorry to give you guys a disappointing review for this movie. Hopefully, the next movie I watch, which is Lyle Lyle Crocodile, I'm gonna check that out for myself. I don't know what the reception for that movie is, but either it's good or bad, it depends. Amsterdam is a movie you can check out for yourself to see what you think of it, but this is my personal take on it. I just found it to be underwhelming and slightly boring too. It was a bore of a movie. So I wasn't really impressed with this movie. So 5.5 out of 10. I like the performances from all those actors I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but it's just the pacing and the how they're dragging out this movie and going into very deep explanation, which they're trying to get the viewer to understand where the story's going with this movie. And I got the what it was going for, but basically it was just dragging out with every scene. And I'm like, this is just underwhelming of a movie. So 5.5 out of 10 for Amsterdam. It's a weak movie, in my opinion. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie Amsterdam. If you watched it already, it came out on October 7th. It's with Christian Bale, John David Washington, and Margot Robbie. If you've seen this movie, and if you did enjoy this movie review, I'm sorry I gave you a disappointing review. Keep in mind, you can watch it yourself and see what you think of it and your viewpoint on it. But personally, for me, I just wasn't connecting with this movie, and not in a good way. I liked some of the story, and I got the story, but it's just the scenes were dragging on so much, and it wasn't getting to the point of the movie too much. It was getting there, but it was just dragging it out for 2 hours, and I'm just like, these scenes are so underwhelming and somewhat unperformed too. Um, so not it was just underwhelming of a movie in my opinion. So yeah, if you did enjoy this movie review, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can, support the channel. I will have another review coming out for Lyle Lyle Crocodile. I don't know what I'm gonna think of that movie when I watch it. Constance Wu's in this movie, her first appearance in a new movie and back on the big screen and all that. So the last time I saw her in anything was the Fresh Off the Boat movie, or the show I meant to say. Sorry if I said movie. Fresh Off the Boat, and then she had a lot of backlash from social media or something like that. Nothing to the point where she did anything wrong. It's just the people on social media were being cruel sons of bitches to her. So, yeah, I really felt bad for her. And she was struggling a lot for a while. And she revealed it in an interview. So, I will be reviewing that movie and giving my initial opinion on it. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this very lengthy video for Amsterdam. I tried to explain it as best as I could with this movie, but I just found it boring. And I don't know, it was just an underwhelming movie, in my opinion. It's not the worst movie of this year, not the worst of the worst, but it is one of the worst movies, and a disappointing one. So, as always, I will see you in my next review.